anyone can say they know God, it is a claim that points toward an invisible reality, making it easy to simply speak and expect acceptance. Resting on words alone creates a loop of self-deception. When spirituality is treated as a vocabulary test, it becomes possible to build an entire belief system on air, deceiving others and eventually oneself. Authenticity requires something concrete. It demands evidence that forces us to look past what is said and examine the underlying reality. The book of Genesis describes humanity as being made in the image and likeness of the Creator. This blueprint suggests we were designed to be mirrors, intended to reflect a nature that already existed. Under this design, the validity of a person's spiritual claim depends on whether their life bears the recognizable characteristics of that original maker. The connection should leave a distinct imprint. This sets a standard where spiritual identity is verified by reflection rather than performance. The first defining characteristic of that nature is light, an environment of truth, purity, and transparency. Walking in this light involves the continuous choice to step away from the shadows. It requires the abandonment of hidden agendas and deceptive habits that require darkness to survive. This environment forces the exposure of a person's internal nature. When everything is visible, the reality of who you are becomes plain to see. The second characteristic is love. This is an ontological reality, rooted in ongoing sacrificial action. This specific type of love functions as an outward force. It manifests as the distribution of one's own resources, time, and comfort for the benefit of another. The absence of such observable, sacrificial action effectively contradicts a person's claim of divine connection. Investigating these claims is necessary because spiritual deception mimics the truth on the surface. There is a clear mandate to test the spirits, to investigate and challenge these claims rather than accepting them at face value. Passing this cross-examination requires observable evidence. Subjective feelings and personal anecdotes offer no structural support under scrutiny. The biblical texts point to a biological outcome: fruit. Fruit is the organic yield of the plant's internal structure. A diseased tree lacks the internal health required to produce vibrant fruit. The same principle applies to the human spirit. The external output is strictly determined by the internal condition. Righteous actions are the inevitable exhaust of a person's spiritual DNA. Endurance serves as a primary indicator of authenticity. Anyone can simulate a good deed or put on a convincing performance for a short window. A true nature is validated through continuous behavior across changing seasons and prolonged environments. Time strips away the facade. It acts as a filter, dismantling temporary performances until only the actual nature remains. External stress interacts with a biological system to reveal its foundation. When gale force winds hit the canopy, the deep root system anchors the trunk, absorbing the top-level pressure to keep the structure standing. A crisis reveals the character that was cultivated in the dark. It exposes the foundation that was already there. Survival through these storms provides evidence of a hidden, genuine root system. To understand the source of this strength, the focus must move from the outward fruit to the inward input. A branch is biologically incapable of generating its own life source. It is entirely dependent on the sap flowing into it from the primary vine. Righteousness is received through this sustained, unbroken connection. It is not something human effort can manufacture. Walking in truth, exhibiting sacrificial love, and bearing consistent fruit are the markers we observe. These behaviors are the proof of a transformed identity, not the cause of it. A life genuinely rooted in the Creator reaches an unforced state of peace. It is not straining to be something it is not. A true believer does not exhaust themselves trying to prove their faith. Anchored to the source, they simply manifest it.